Shakar Hala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Sai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Sai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Sai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Sai, the water, Abba, Abba, called Kadas. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teaches truth, the 100% truth. Do a quick lesson in transit. I want to talk about how these Edomites, how they play the game, man. And they're so smooth with it. And that's all, they do a lot of praying on the left-hand side, to these demons and these other things, to how they come up with a lot of their wicketry and things that they do. And one thing we know that they always take crafty counsel against our people. That's in Isaiah, I think, chapter, I forget what part of Isaiah, but how they always take crafty counsel against our people. And one of the crafty counsel they've done is against the northern kingdom, and mainly against the northern kingdom tribes, and they spearheaded it with the Venezuelans, which I forget which tribe they are, but they demonized the Venezuelans when they brought them over here. That's all you heard of. That's all you would hear about 4 or 5 months ago before the election. How the Venezuelans gangs come over here, taking over cities, taking over apartment complexes, and all these other things. And don't get me wrong. We know that they allowed some of the gang members to come over here to do what they do, so they can exploit that. And this is an old thing that they've always done, man. And especially during election time, where they would create a problem and they would highlight it, and they would project it on the people what these people are doing. They did it for the Southern Kingdom tribe during the time of, I think it was Reaganomics, when they had Jakes, as the front of being out here. I think a Jake got out of prison and he ended up unaliving somebody. Yeah, just got out of prison. They ended up unaliving somebody, and they, sent them right back into prison. And their main slogan that they was going off during that time, about letting people off of, letting them out of prison early, and and call for harder controls on locking people up. And therefore, that was kind of spearheading the way for the crime bill. Well, here it is again, this time they're going after the Northern Kingdom. They brought them over here. They let them come over here, leaving the borders open. As a matter of fact, they encouraged them to come over here. They were, they talking about the gangs coming over here, and they was talking about, how the government is giving them so much money, which they probably were. Free housing, new houses, new cars. Cause I see it here. You see a lot of people that came over here. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them came over here and worked for it, but some of them that came over here just gave it to them and gave them these opportunities, knowing that American citizens right now are suffering, man. Wages are not that good. The price of everything is high as hell. Your foods, your goods, your services. And Jake is struggling, but they're seeing their tax dollars being given to these Northern Kingdom tribes, abundantly, not just enough to, to kind of sustain them, but in some cases, abundantly, man. Get them like, I forget what it was, some astronomical number, man. Like free housing, they go get cars and scooters, and putting them up in nice hotels, the top hotels, some of them free housing in some places. They can qualify for nice brand new homes and shit. And this was all done as a trap, man, to create that divide, that hate on these Northern Kingdom people. And you can't blame them for coming over here and taking advantage of opportunity. Somebody gonna give you something, damn right, you're gonna take it. But not knowing that, beware of gifts that you get from these devils, man. They use it against you. So once they got them over here, they turn the tide of the American people from wanting to help other people to get them up out of here by any means necessary. And like I said, a lot of Northern Kingdoms will come over here. You know, they bust their ass to get some of the things that they have got. But Eve took that and demonized it, man. And that's how crafty this devil is, you know. Knowing that you had a conservative party that's waiting in the wings, you know, and they're going to use the racism thing. You got these mega people, you know, they ride on that racist ideology, you know, them being superior, supremacists. And they just build up a hatred towards the Northern Kingdom. So therefore, they're going to be able to come in with this new administration and do whatever means necessary to get them up out of here. You know, and it's going to do a whole sweep of all the Northern Kingdoms, and eventually it's going to come down on the Southern Kingdom. Because once they get the Northern Kingdom up out of here, the Southern Kingdom is going to be the next target. You know, it's just crazy how this devil moves, man. How you put this all into play. You know, we all watching to see the chaos going on. And, you know, the Democrats just constantly feeding into it. You know, doubling them down on bringing them over here across the border, piling them up in these cities, putting them in Jake's communities, which are already stretched out on resources anyhow. You know, and people seeing the American tax dollars going towards helping another entity while our own people are struggling. You got veterans and everybody else is struggling to make it in this here economy, man. So then you throw the media in the mix. You know, they just pushing it like, oh, you know, it's not really like that, but the whole time they projecting that image out there, man. Devils are so fucking wicked, you know. So now they grabbing up all the Northern Kingdoms. A lot of them, they got tattoos. They send them down there to this Supermax prison in El Salvador, you know, and just no rights or anything, just snatching them up and throwing them out there, whether they, you know, belong to a gang or not, you know, with no type of due process, you know. Like they have no rights at all. And they use that as a catalyst, man, to they're going to bring in this digital ID system, going to lock a lot of you Jakes up. You're going to have to get that MOTB in order to be in this system. So just be ready, man. Just want to kind of hit that point, man, that we in those times, man, where the devil is definitely moving crafty. He's definitely making his power moves because he knows his time is definitely coming to an end. So with that being said, with that, say shalom.